Urgent. Pele dies aged 82. Pele died at the age of 82 this Thursday, 29. Three times World Cup champion, the king of football and athlete of the century scored more than 1,200 career goals, and was battling colon cancer. Welcome to FUT News BR channel. Subscribe to the channel to stay on top of events. Let's get to the point. Pele dies at the age of 82, this Thursday the 29th. Considered the king of football, the former player was diagnosed with colon cancer in September 2021, and had spent Christmas Eve surrounded by his children. This year, metastasis was detected in the intestine, liver and lung. Pele had been hospitalized at Albert Einstein Hospital in São Paulo since November 29. He came in for a review of his chemotherapy treatment after he developed a respiratory infection, a bronchopneumonia. The medical team evaluated the need to keep him hospitalized since the treatment was no longer responding, which led the former athlete to receive only palliative care. Medical Bulletin of December 21 brought discontinuing news. On December 21, a bulletin reported that the former player had kidney and heart impairment, leading the family to cancel the Christmas celebrations. During the last hospitalization, caused by heart failure, edema and generalized swelling, and respiratory infection, Pele demonstrated his support several times for the Brazilian national team during the World Cup, even congratulating Neymar after the current number 10 equaled his number of goals for Brazil in official matches, 77 times scoring the net. Pele underwent surgeries between 2012 and 2017. The health of Edson Arantes do Nascimento, his given name, began to deteriorate after operations on his hips in 2012, 2016, and 2017, leading the athlete of the century to use a wheelchair and not light the Paralympic at the 2016 Games. The former player's hospitalizations became more frequent. In February of this year, he was admitted to the hospital due to a urinary infection, and in April he returned to the hospital. Pele collected 3 World Cup and more than 1,000 goals in career. Born in Três Corações, Minas Gerais, on October 23, 1940, the biggest name in Brazilian football was 3 times World Cup champion 1958, 1962 and 1970, and scored more than 1,000 goals. To be exact, 1,283 goals in 1,366 matches, including friendly matches. Baptized with the Edson referring to the inventor Thomas Edison, nicknamed in the Dico family and in the Pele family, as that was how he referred to the then goalkeeper Baldo do Vasco da Gama from São Lourenço, MG, he worked in a tea shop to get increased family earnings. Raised in Bauru, São Paulo, Pele went through lowland teams such as 7 de Setembro and went through indoor soccer until he arrived at Santos in 1956, debuting as a professional at the age of 15. In a short time, the career took off. So much so that the following year he was already in the national team. And in 1958, he played in his first World Cup. The farewell to Amarelinha came in 1971, at Maracana, although he continued to act professionally. So much so that from 1975 to 1977, after 12 years at Santos, he played for Cosmos, USA. Remember the titles Pele won. In addition to the World Cup, Pele won 6 Brazilian championships, from 1961 to 1965 and 1968, a Super Cup, 2 Libertadores, 2 Club World Cups, a Recopa, 2 International Cups, 3 Rio São Paulo tournaments, and 10 São Paulo championships. For the national team, among other smaller tournaments, 2 Copa Roca. Pele stacked up artillery from Libertadores, Brasileiro, 3 times, Paulista, 10 times, and the World Cup, 2 times, in addition to having won the Silver Ball, 19588, and Gold, 1970, by FIFA. He was named Athlete of the Century by the International Olympic Committee and Reuters in 1999. In 1993 he was named a Goodwill Ambassador by UNESCO. And in 1977, Citizen of the World by the UN. Among other decorations, the honorary title of Knight of the British Empire, by the hands of the then Queen Elizabeth II. Pele was an actor, singer and entered politics. From the end of the 1969s, Pele began to experience other sides of his career, acting in the soap opera Os Estranos and later in films such as O Barão no Barado dos Bilhos and Os Trapalhões e o Rei do Futebol, in which was a goalkeeper. In addition, he had his life portrayed in at least 3 documentaries. Pele gave rise to the character Pelezinho, by Mauricio de Souza, who performed a duet with Elis Regina. Already in 1995, in the first government Fernando Henrique took over the Ministry of Sport, created the law that bears his name, but ended up involved in accusations of corruption. How many times was Pele married? How many children did you have? Pele's first marriage was in 1966 to Rosemary Reis Calbai. From the relationship were born Kelly, Jennifer, and Edinho, former goalkeeper of Santos. In 1980 the relationship came to an end. Between 1981 and 1986 he dated presenter Suxa. He subsequently married Asiria Nascimento in